Good evening, y'all. Um, so the thing I wanted to talk about real quick was, because look, I know that everybody has different beliefs regarding spirituality and religion, and right, like your belief in God, and there's all these different terms like universe, like people call it, like right, but I just want to say that I've ever since I was a kid, because I looked into other religions just briefly, right? Like I don't have extensive knowledge, y'all. I'm not trying to say that I'm an expert, but I briefly looked at it, and that's why what I found was, if I simmered it all the way down, essentially, right? Like it all had this. All the religions have the same components. And this guy that I used to work with, actually, he let me pick his brain a little bit. He was a Muslim man, and I really enjoyed talking to him and kind of learning. And, you know, but again, it just led me to the same conclusion that so many people have the same basic components to their religion or their spirituality or their belief systems, right? If you're on the light side, I don't know about people that play on that other side. And here's the thing too, like there was something somebody said to me once, when it comes to the way that, like, if you're trying to analyze people who have these, like, we'll say distorted energy, right? Don't, right? Like the biggest thing somebody said to me once, they were like, you know, it's a really good thing that you don't understand people that think like that. So for the people out there who are confused a little bit by these people, like, again, that's why I say the same thing with those files and stuff, is that there's a certain level of understanding that I think is necessary, but I also think that avoiding and staying away from, like, digging too deep into those kind of personalities and stuff like that. Maybe it's like reserved for certain people, right? Like each person has their own strength, and maybe some people have the mental capacity to dig deep into that. I don't, and I don't think that other sensitive people really should strive to understand those type of people. That being said, I bring all of this up because, just very briefly, I never finished the book, which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to, because there were some pretty cool exercises that were in this book. It's called, and it's a terrible name, y'all, but it's called Don't Shoot the Dog. And there's some really cool exercises that you can do with, like, groups of friends to try to, like, non-verbally communicate tasks, right? And for example, like, they had like 4 or 5 people sit around a room, and in that room, you know, without using words, you tell someone to turn on a light, right? And I'm gonna end it really quick because I don't want to be on here too long. I have other stuff, but what I thought was really cool was around, like, I don't even think it was that far in the book, but one of the things it said was, it talked about how the reason that we communicate with animals is nonverbal communication, which is also what we do as a child, right? Nonverbal communication, empathy, right? We're reading this. And so for the people out there who have these, like, tremendous doubts about intuition or extreme empathy, or whatever people want to call it, right? Whether it's psychic abilities or whatever, what I want to say to you is 2 things. One is, basically, you're talking about nonverbal communication when you're referring to intuition. And 2, another fun fact, when you look up the scientific term for aura, you get biological field. So this is another fun fact, and I'm going to leave this with y'all for food for thought. Science and religion didn't separate until, like, I can't remember right now, y'all can look it up, but science and religion didn't separate until not too long ago. So the fact that, like, these things still, like, exist now as, like, separate entities is completely insane. But okay, maybe it's not insane, maybe I'm going too far, but it feels like that to me because they're so closely tied. So what I'm getting at is that for the people who want to, like, blow smoke and say, oh, I don't believe in that stuff, I think that's just absolutely batshit, there's something very wrong with that female. To each their own. I'm not judging, right? And you're free to do what you want. However, define and then explain to me what nonverbal communication is then. But either way, I hope you have a beautiful evening. Stay safe. A cuidado, everybody. Thank you.